Hey everybody, Sarah here from GimmeAct.com. Here we are today doing Vampire the Masquerade, Shadows of New York, going for all of the achievements. This is going to be a visual novel, so before we get started, we are going to go into settings and adjust some things to make the game go by quicker. So make sure you go over to typing speed and make sure you set that to fast. Then what you want to do is you want to make sure you back out to save your settings, then go over to new game. You're going to pick an empty save slot, and that's going to start up a new playthrough. Once you actually get into the game, what you want to do is you want to make sure you hold down the X button to enable the fast forward. The game should automatically stop whenever there is a choice to be made. In terms of the choices having effects on achievements, there's only a total of 2 separate choice sets that have any effect on any achievements. You can choose whatever you want for the rest of the choices in the game. For the sake of simplicity, we're just going to go with the topmost choice for every single one. We are going to point out those 2 choice sets that do have an effect on achievements because they may lead to some missable achievements if we aren't careful. There's going to be one towards the beginning of the playthrough, and there's going to be one towards the end of the playthrough. So make sure you do keep your eyes peeled for when they do come up. It's going to be right here where we're going to encounter the first of the 2 critical choice sets. You are going to have 2 choices right here. You are going to need to do both of them, as one is going to lead to an achievement and the other one is going to lead to the continuation of the story to get the rest of the achievements. So your options in order to do both of them is to either do them on 2 separate playthroughs, or you can save yourself a ton of time by doing the cloud save trick. It's going to be good practice to do it here because we are going to have to do this later for the other critical choice. So even if you mess up, this particular choice is only a couple of minutes or so into the game, so don't worry too much about messing up. That being said, you are probably going to want to get the cloud save trick down by the time you get to the other critical choice in the game. So to do the trick, what you want to do is you want to make sure you get to this choice. You're going to hit the start button, and then you're going to save and exit. That's going to manually save the game. We are then going to close the game, which is going to force a cloud sync. So just hit the guide button, then go up to the game, hit start, and then go all the way down to quit to manually quit out of the game. Then what you want to do is you want to make sure you reboot the game. So make sure you launch the game again, and that's going to take you back to the main menu. What you want to do is you want to make sure you go to load, and we're going to load that save that we just made. That's going to put us back at the choice where we were just at, so make sure you get to that part. For this first go around, we are going to choose the bottom choice, which is going to be don't shoot. So make sure you pick that one. The game is then going to give you a game over, and that's going to lead to you getting an achievement. So make sure you fast forward a little bit. You're going to get your game over right here. The achievement's going to be dead end for 50 gamer score, and it's going to force the credits to roll. Now, the big issue with this game is whenever you get a game over or an ending, the game will wipe your manual save. So that's going to be the reason why we need to do the cloud save trick. Once you get your achievement, and quickly before the credits can end, what you want to do is you want to make sure you hit the guide button, go over to the game, hit start, and then go to manage game and add-ons. Then you're going to go down to saved data, you're going to locate your save, and then what you want to do is you want to make sure you delete from console. This is going to wipe the local data, but it's going to keep your cloud save still intact. It should also force close the game, so we're going to then reboot the game, which is going to force a cloud sync. So when we go over to load, we should have whatever save data we had when we forced the game to cloud sync. So if you look at your save slots, you should have this save right here during night 1, just before you made that critical choice. So with us being able to go back, we can make the opposite choice, which is going to be the top one, which is to shoot her, and that's going to allow us to continue the story. So same deal as earlier, make sure you hold the X button to fast forward and just make sure you pick whatever choices you want when choices do come up. And we're just going to keep this up until we get to that other critical choice set where we also do need to do a cloud save trick in order to save ourselves an extra playthrough. Every single other achievement in between these 2 critical choice sets are going to be completely unmissable. You just need to play through the story choosing whatever choices you want. It's going to be right here. We're going to have the other critical choice set, so make sure you do pay attention to this particular background and this particular set of choices. But once we get here, we're going to need to do the cloud save trick once more, so make sure you hit that start button, go to save and exit right before you make that choice. Once you are here on the main menu, you're going to then hit the guide button, make sure you quit out of the game, then make sure you reboot, and then make sure you load up the save that we just made. It should be the one towards the end of the game on night 8, so make sure you check that. But once you are in and get to that choice for this first go around, we're going to go with the topmost choice, which is going to be I will do whatever is necessary. Once you make this choice, you're going to be good for the achievement that goes along with it. So it's going to unlock right over here. Now it's going to be very important. We're going to need it to continue to play until we get to the end credits. Now, in between now and then, we cannot close out of the game because that's going to force another cloud save, and we don't want to save over the cloud save that we forced already. So try your best to get through the rest of this without quitting out of the game, and once you hit the end credits, you should have everything in place to basically save scum and save yourself an additional playthrough. So once you get your ending, you're going to get the good ending, which should get you an achievement for 100 gamer score. The credits are going to start rolling, so we're going to need to do the other part of the cloud save trick. So hit the guide button, then make sure you go up to the game, hit the start button, go to manage game and add-ons, and make sure you delete your local save. So find your save, delete from console, that's going to force the game to close, and then we're just going to reboot the game, and then everything should be as it was when we made our forced cloud save. So if you go back to load, you should have the save during night 8 towards the end of the game, just before you made that critical choice. This time, once we load it up and go for this go around, we're going to go with the bottom option, which is going to be this is a barrier I won't cross. And then once we choose this, we should be good to just get through the rest of the game, picking whatever we want for choices until we get back to the end credits. So with that whole sequence of events out of the way, you should get the bad ending as well as this achievement for 100 gamer score. Also, even though we save Scum, the game is still going to give us the Sun and the Moon achievement, which is for getting both endings. That's going to be for 200 gamer score. Also, this is going to be where your completion should ideally be. So that's going to be all of the achievements cut down to a single playthrough thanks to the cloud save trick. Hope you enjoyed the guide, and that's all there is to it.